Hello, my name is Louisa, and before we begin tonight's story, I'd like to just introduce myself as the creator and the voice of Sleep Stories with Louisa. And if these stories are helping you to rest, and if you're enjoying them, then please feel free to follow the podcast on your listening app. It helps others to find their way here too, so we can share a little more calm and better sleep. And if you'd like to share our link, we'd be ever so grateful. So thank you once again for listening. And let's begin. Hello. Tonight's story settles beside a quiet village street where one small window still glows with candlelight. From the calm of the night outside, you pause to watch an older candlemaker as he moves slowly through his workshop. And he's completing all the final moments of an evening that has taken many years to arrive. Wax cools and wicks are trimmed. Tools are set down with care. And one by one, the lights that have filled the village for so long are gently brought to rest. And there is no hurry here and nothing left undone. And as the last candle is extinguished, the work of the day and the work of a lifetime is allowed to settle into quiet completion. The night holds everything safely now, and rest is free to arrive in its own time. Before we begin, settle yourself into a position that feels comfortable enough. Nothing needs to be adjusted perfectly, and nothing needs to be held in place. Just allow the surface beneath you to take your weight fully, as though it has been doing this for you all along. And there is no task waiting, no moment you need to stay alert for. And you can let the body soften without trying to make it relax. Notice how the breath is already moving, rising and falling in its own quiet rhythm without any instruction. And there is nothing you need to do with it. If the shoulders are still holding on to the day, they can begin to loosen now. Not all at once, but just enough. And the jaw can rest. The tongue can lie gently in the mouth. The muscles around the eyes no longer need to focus. you're allowed to stop watching for what comes next. And there is a sense here that things have already been taken care of. That effort is no longer required. Thoughts may still drift through, but they don't need attention. They can just pass by like dim lights seen through glass, present but not demanding anything from you. And the body knows how to rest when it's no longer responsible. You don't need to stay with the words. You don't need to follow them closely. Just allow yourself to be here, supported, held, with nothing more expected of you. And when you are ready, the story will begin quietly outside in the calm of the night. The candlemaker's last evening. We begin today at the arrival of the window of the candlemaker, and the night is already quiet when you arrive. Not late, just settled. And a small village street rests beneath the dark sky, empty and unhurried, as though it has been this way for some time. And you slow naturally, drawn by a single window still lit ahead of you. And it is the only one. Soft candlelight moves behind the glass, steady and warm enough to catch your attention without asking anything of you. You come to a gentle stop outside, just close enough to see, but not close enough to disturb. And from here you are held by the night. The air is still, and the ground beneath you feels firm and quiet. Inside the window, an older candlemaker moves slowly through his workshop. His movements are careful and unhurried, shaped by many years of repetition. Nothing is rushed, nothing is delayed. He lifts a candle, turns it slightly in his hands, then sets it down again. Tools rest where they belong. Surfaces are clear. Everything has its place. The light does not flicker wildly. Instead, it glows steadily, contained within the room, separate from the calm outside. You do not need to step closer, and you do not need to stay alert. From here you can simply watch, held safely in the quiet, as the evening continues on its own. And from where you stand, the scene inside unfolds at its own pace. The candle maker moves across the room slowly, each step measured, as though there is no reason to hurry now. He pauses at the work table, where several candles rest in neat rows, their surfaces smooth and pale in the steady light. Wax has cooled fully. Nothing more is needed from it, and he reaches for a small pair of scissors, lifts them with care, and trims a wick that no longer needs attention. The sound is too soft to reach you through the glass, but the movement is clear enough. And when he finishes, the scissors are placed back exactly where they belong. There is a quiet rhythm to this. Lift, pause, set down. Not preparation, no planning, only completion. He moves to another candle, then another, and another. His hands are steady, and his pace unchanged, and time does not feel counted here. The light inside remains warm and contained, while the night outside stays still and watchful, holding you gently where you are. And you are not waiting for anything in particular to happen. You are just simply watching something finish without needing to be involved. And the evening continues calmly, patiently, exactly as it should. Inside the workshop, the candle maker moves less now. He stands for a moment at the table, his hands resting lightly at its edge, as though allowing the quiet to just settle around him. And the candles are no longer needing his attention. They sit as they are, even, complete, their pale shapes catching the glow of the light without any effort. And he reaches for a cloth which is folded neatly nearby, and he wipes the surfaces of the table in slow, careful strokes. Not to clean, but to finish. The cloth is folded again, set aside. Its work is done. And he glances once around the room, not searching and not checking, but only noticing that the shelves are in order, noticing that the tools are still, noticing that nothing is waiting. The light holds steady, and outside you remain where you are, supported by the quiet night, aware of the firm ground beneath your feet, the cool air resting gently around you, and there is no sense of time passing quickly or slowly. Only the feeling that this moment is enough. And inside, the candle maker takes a breath, unhurried, and reaching towards the nearest flame. And the evening moves gently towards its close. The candle maker's hand moves towards the first flame, and he pauses for just a moment, as though recognizing what has already passed, before letting the light go. And the flame is extinguished gently. For a brief second, the wick glows softly and then fades, leaving the space quieter than before. And he does not move on immediately. He allows the stillness to take its place. And when he reaches for the next candle, the movement is the same. Unhurried, familiar, certain. And another flame is released, and the room changes again, not dramatically but noticeably, as though something that once needed attention no longer does. And each candle goes out in its own time, Between them there are small pauses and spaces where nothing happens at all. The shelves remain, the tools remain, the work is already behind him. And with every light lowered, the room feels less occupied, less full of motion, as though the busiest moments have already passed through, and they've left nothing behind that needs holding. The candle maker moves carefully now. His age is visible in the patience of his actions and in the way he allows each moment to finish completely before beginning the next. And outside of the window, you continue to watch from the calm of the night, held by the quiet, as the workshop grows steadily simpler. And soon, only one candle remains, and that single one candle stands alone on the work table, its flame steady and untroubled, casting a small, familiar circle of light across the room. The candle maker approaches it slowly. There is no hesitation in him, only the quiet certainty of someone who knows that there is nothing more to add. And he rests his hand on the table just for a moment, allowing himself the support. His posture is relaxed, and his movements shaped by age and long habit. And the light continues to burn gently, doing what it has always done, and asking for nothing. And when he reaches forward, the motion is careful, almost ceremonial in its simplicity, and the flame is extinguished. And for an instant, the wick glows softly and then darkens. The room settles into shadow, not empty, not cold, but complete. And the candle maker remains where he is, standing quietly in the dimness, as though he's letting the room adjust around him. And outside of the window, you do not need to strain to see. The darkness feels sufficient. Nothing stirs. Nothing calls for attention. And the workshop holds its shape in the low light as the work of many years just rests there, finished. And after a moment, the candle maker turns towards the door. And he begins to move towards the door as his steps are slow and measured, and the natural pace of someone who has nowhere else to be. He reaches for his coat, lifts it with care, and settles it over his shoulders, adjusting it slightly before letting his hands fall again. And the workshop remains dark behind him. Its work is finished, its stillness undisturbed. When he opens the door, a quiet breath of night air moves through the space, cool and steady. He steps outside, and the door closes softly behind him. And for a moment he stands there, key resting in hand, as though allowing the evening to arrive fully. The lock turns with a slow, deliberate movement, and as he lifts his head, his eyes find you for the first time. His face is lined with age, his expression open and calm, carrying no questions. He offers a small smile, unhurried and reassuring, and a gentle nod follows, wordless, complete. Nothing more is needed, and he turns away, his footsteps quiet as he moves along the street, each one unforced, and each one placed carefully, and the distance between you both grow slowly. His shape softens in the darkness, edges fading, movement becoming less distinct now, until he is no longer separate from the night around him. And you do not remain watching. Without effort, your attention begins to loosen now, as though it no longer needs to hold the scene together. The window no longer draws your focus. The door no longer matters, and the street stays exactly as it is, quiet and settled, continuing on without needing to be observed. And as the night carries on, your awareness drifts and floats with it, away from the window, away from the shop, away from the need to notice anything at all. And the darkness remains gentle. The quiet remains steady. And the rest of the night unfolds on its own. The space where he disappeared remains quiet, nothing filling it, and the street holds its shape without effort, dark and still, as though it has always known how to be this way. And there is no movement now to follow. No light asking to be noticed. The window has become just glass once again. The shop only a closed door. The details that once drew your attention no longer ask for it. Your awareness loosens further now, not drifting anywhere in particular, but simply no longer needing to stay with what was there before. The night does not change. It does not move forward or back. It just rests. Sounds, if there are any, sit far away, too distant to take shape. The darkness is even and uncomplicated, holding everything without effort. And there is nothing left to watch, nothing left to finish, because the village no longer requires a witness. And as the quiet continues, your sense of being here thins gently, like breath fading into air, like light settling into shadow, and the night just carries on, steady and sufficient, without needing your attention at all. And whatever comes next comes softly, without being noticed.